What type of deals are you just not touching right now?
I'm trying to stay away from, listen, my kids dragged me out the other day. In our neighborhood, we have one big office building because we live in a beach town, residential neighborhood. We got this one big old giant office building sitting in a shopping center parking lot in the middle of town. And he made me go look at it because he'd probably give it away. I'm not near. I won't touch office with a 10-foot pole. I never have, never will. And I mean, I never did because I was never exposed to it. But then when COVID came and it actually crushed me also because I had hotels that depended on the office business, a corporate business. So that crushed even a hotel. But anyway, I don't deal with offices. We all know why. Because of COVID, because of technology, because people want to sit at home and work and blah, blah, and everybody shrunk down. So I don't do office. I'm kind of scaling down the hotels because you can't have too many hotels. I mean, it's just too much. It's a business. It's not really real estate. I don't really do storage facilities, but I would look at one. Basically, primarily, we're only looking for multifamily. I don't know industrial. Basically, it's just multifamily. People always need a place to sleep.
Yeah. Is there a price, though, if office space got so cheap that you would want to buy it?
No, because it's worthless. Okay. Here's a true story. All right. True as much as I could believe. Broker calls me up. Well, before he called me up, I saw online a Macy's for sale. I'm starting to get into retail. We're starting to chop up stuff. We're making it work, splitting spaces. My son been pretty successful doing that, but on a small level. I said, you know what? Man, you get that whole building. I knew it was a cheap price. I said, let me go look at it. It was attached to a mall. Okay, part of the mall, but it was a separate piece of property that Macy's themselves owned. Okay, but it was attached to the mall, Anyway, long story short, look at it, and I think about and it was a huge place. I mean, for the money, you get it for like free, practically, for price per square foot. And I'm saying, man, what the hell am I going to do with it? What can I do with it? Storage facility? It's in a mall. And then you got a mall to deal with. I don't own the mall, so I got to deal with them. People own the mall. And they're not in a good place right now. I wouldn't buy a mall. I could buy the mall right down the block from here for $100 million right now. Probably one of the best pieces of dirt there is. But all the stores on top of it and ain't a good price. At the price they want and all the bullshit I got to deal with, the return, bad. Malls are dying, all right? We all know that. Malls, offices, all dying. Anyway, long story short, I look at the property and I just didn't know what to do with it. And then I kind of got a feel for the mall owners because I got to pay them CAM out of the mall. I got to pay the property taxes on it. All right, I got to have insurance, you have security, I got all the expenses involved. So I'm walking into a deep negative, okay? And I don't have a plan. What am I going to do with this hundreds of thousands of square foot of nice but space? So anyway, I said, there's no way I can take that risk in life. So not too long goes by, the broker calls me up. And I'm just going to tell you, he led me to believe that Macy's corporate told him or insinuated that they would be happy if they signed a deed over to somebody just to get away from it. So they didn't have to pay the common area maintenance expenses, the utilities, the property taxes, all the dealing with the mall owner, management, the parking lots, all that security. They just wanted to get away from the expense. They didn't give a big company to write it off their books anyway. We all know Macy's went through some kind of reorganization, right? So anyway, I could have got a free Macy's, but I would have stepped into a deep bill paying every month, costs. So I didn't do it.
So what do you think is going to happen to that? Do they just sit on it indefinitely?
A lot of malls are getting knocked down, know. And then, it seems like what works is in these mall areas, they have to mix the use. Yeah. Give me some multifamily. Give me some retail. Give me a nice gas station over here in the out parcel. Give me, some fast food around, independent. They got to reconfigure the entire property and come up with a whole new plan.
So it's interesting. We just had Rick Caruso on the podcast. And he builds malls.
Caruso.
Rick Caruso.
Oh, whatever there's a vowel on the end of there.
He is the biggest mall guy in California. All of his malls, fully booked. He says he has a wait list for tenants trying to get in. It is the place of places for malls. We asked him about a place in Santa Monica.
California's a different place, too.
Yeah. We asked him about a place in Santa Monica that just went into foreclosure. And they owed like $100 million on this whole big structure. It's a big 3-story mall, half indoor, half outdoor.
How come Caruso didn't buy it, fill up with tenants?
He said he was offered, but he turned it down because he said they needed to start over. They needed to tear down the entire thing and build what he said was multifamily.
Multifamily? But he's a big shot mall guy. Why can't he fill it up with tenants?
He said the design was flawed.
Yeah, I had to
no one wants to be second, third floor.
Exactly.
Ground floor is where it's at.
If you're in real estate, you can feel the pain when you walk into a mall. When I toured the mall down the block here, you could feel the pain.
I went to a casino in Vegas that has a section that's
a mall. You don't
go
to casinos. You hate casinos. You hate the strip.
Only if I lose. Only if I lose. There was a show there, so we went for the show. But there's a whole section that was dedicated like mall space, like retail, all empty. And there was only one place, it was like a burger spot on the second floor that was open. Everything else, you just walk by empty stores for like 100 feet, and there's one burger spot at the end. That's it.
I mean, that's where he's going to the burger spot.
No, I think we had to walk through there to get to the parking lot.
Retail is a dangerous game. You got to play it right. Okay, luckily I'm selling a property, and luckily, you ever heard of Floor and Decor?
No.
Ever heard of Floor and Decor?
Floor and Decor.
Floor and Decor.
Floor and Decor.
Anyway, every homeowner that's fixing up their house goes to Floor and Decor. Okay, for flooring mainly, that's why it's called Floor and Decor. Remodeling, all that contractors go there. Anyway, listen, thank God they stores like that. He just renewed a lease with me, and he's got a big lease. I don't know what they pay, hundreds of $1,000s a year. Can you imagine that store went empty? What it would have to do to me?
No.
So anyway, luckily they renewed, and I'm able to sell the property because they have now a nice long contract. Retail is dangerous. You got to know what the you're doing in retail, and the only way you can make money in retail is renting empty space. You know why? You know that the retail space, typically in a retail world, if you buy a retail property, shopping center, mall, whatever the you're buying, the vacant space is free. You get free real estate. Did you know that?
No. They don't assign
free,
any value to it.
Free! Because the real estate is sold to you based on a cap rate.
Mm-hmm.
You're only going to buy the property based on the income it's generating. It's simple. So if it's only generating X amount of dollars and you got all this empty land, space ain't worth. That's how you make money in real estate. Because you come in now and you rent the empty space out. Instant equity. Instantly. My son took a empty bank. They sat empty for 5 years with the guy I bought it from.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted to rent this bank. Amongst a bunch of stores. Comes in. That didn't work, that bank, that size, for that market. Threw a wall down the middle. Instead of 4,000, now it's 2,000s. He rented them like that. And one side had a drive-through, and he put a smoothie in there. That's how you make money in retail. The only way I've ever seen anybody make money in retail. The leases are for many, many years, especially for the big corporate tenants. You may not get no increase for who knows how many years, and they're very small. All right, the money's in renting the empty space, but you got to have the balls to come out there and either reconfigure it, come up with a new plan, or be able to have the ability to find a tenant. But you get real estate for free.
Are you still learning new things about real estate investing?
I mean, you learn every day. You're always learning. Me and my son always say to ourselves, man, we didn't know that. Especially when you deal with corporate. When you deal with corporate, oh my God, thank God for AI now. I'll tell you the honest truth. My son, he relies on AI. You can tell AI to do a lot of when it comes to these contracts, and it helps a lot.
How so? Do you put the contract in there?
You don't need a lawyer now. Now he does something with the contract. He feeds it AI, whatever, and he sits there and asks all these questions that he has about the contract, and the thing spits all the answers out. And now when he goes to my lawyer to change the contract, my lawyer ain't got no work to do. AI did it all for him. Lawyers are going to be in trouble. Yeah. But anyway, what was your question anyway?
Still expanding your knowledge in real estate.
I mean, we learn every day. I don't think a day goes by where I don't learn stuff. Every deal I still learning new stuff, especially the corporate stuff. When you're dealing with big shot corporations, they got every trick in the book.
What are some of the main things that you've taken away from working with corporations?
Like, what are the tricks?
Listen, they got all kinds of stuff, rules in their contracts that make your head spin. You can't If you have out parcels on your property you want to build out, they have a view clause. You can't block their view. Me and my son didn't know that. He had to move a building that he was building.
Wow.
Because it can't block their view. He was like a foot into their view. He had to redesign the whole plans and have everything redone with the engineer and move the whole building over.
Why would a company insert that into?
Because they want to protect their business. They want to make sure people driving by. It's all about traffic.
Oh, so they had only
People
sold
drive by. They want to be able to see that store all the way back there, thousands of feet away at the end of the shopping center.
So they had only sold you the out parcel.
I own the out parcel.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So like they had the shopping center, you only had the out parcel or whatever it was.
I own the whole place. So then I am my tenant. I got a place. Here's a
corporate
square.
tenant.
Oh,
I got all kinds of tenants here,
for the
shops,
tenants.
stores, whatever. Then I want to
Interesting.
add an out parcel in the front.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
But blocking the
And I got
view
permission
now
to do
of-
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We cut out that piece. We throw up a building. We rent it out. We make money. That's what developers do. So anyway, there was things we learn every day. I've heard all kinds of things, that surprised me, and they're so smart. I mean,
Now, most people think forming an LLC is just about filling out one form and calling it a day, but there's a lot more to it than that. And if you skip the rest, your LLC isn't really set up the way it needs to be. That is why we have partnered with Northwest Registered Agent.
For $39 plus state fees, Northwest handles the state filing and makes sure you have everything you actually need: your operating agreement, membership certificates, and banking resolutions.
Without those documents, you might be registered with the state, but you're not really ready to operate because banks, vendors, and partners expect to see them.
Plus, you get a free domain, website, email, and phone number when you file your LLC through Northwest, which means your business is ready to operate right away.
And your home address never goes on the public record. Northwest uses their own address on your filing instead of yours.
So if you want your LLC done right the first time, just go to northwestregisteredagent.com/ICH to get started.
It's northwestregisteredagent.com/ICH or click the link down below in the description to get your LLC filed.
Thank you, Northwest Registered Agent, for sponsoring this episode.